Yo, welcome to another episode of Unspoken Conversations. It's your co-host, John.
Darrow.
And tonight we actually have a special co-host in the building. I'm going to let her introduce herself and give her just a few facts about herself.
Just a few facts.
Don't
Good
tell them all your
afternoon,
business.
everybody. Good evening. I'm Keontae, the actress Hamilton from New Orleans, Louisiana, a proud graduate of the great Southern University
The
of
Southern
Baton Rouge.
University.
So I'm here tonight. Shout out to the broadcast journalism department. You know I always love y'all. Here to represent for the ladies. You know we have to be represented in this male dominant culture these days. So I'm here to represent for the ladies.
So
okay?
like, I feel like, I kind of like, spoke up for the women from time to time,
Yeah,
I mean,
you had a little estrogen going on over there.
Up, but you still need the whole
woman.
I mean, I definitely, a man is nothing without the woman.
Hey,
so
I
definitely agree. So I appreciate you. Hey, I got to because
don't be scared.
Hey, I'm terrified, man. You know what they say? You know the old saying.
What's that? What's saying?
Oh man, hell has no theory. Then a woman's scorn.
Scripture.
I ain't scared of that.
All right. Hey. But you also behind every great man, there's a great woman that's supporting him and making sure that he's on his stuff.
I definitely agree.
But yeah, we had to switch it up a little bit. We had, three male perspectives. We had to get we had to kind of balance it out and get a woman's perspective. Because even though as males, and we try to be unbiased. Yeah, unbiased and understanding is possible.
Always a little bias from a man.
Always.
It's always.
I ain't gonna lie.
Especially coming from me. I'm gonna tell you this straight up.
Okay.
But we had to sprinkle a little, a little estrogen.
Little razzle dazzle.
Sparkle.
So, we go
glitter.
Glitter.
Get a little shine.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So again, we go actually talk about a few subjects that we already talked about. And last week we talked about like mental health in the black community and how it actually affected males. But tonight I want to see, from a woman's perspective, how does mental health, affect females,
So first of all,
professional females at that.
Professional females. Shout out to John F. Kennedy High School. Okay, had to represent my kids.
I thought she was gonna shout me out.
All right. All right. So mental health and as it relates to women is a very, very, very sensitive topic in the black community due to the fact that we as women have to always put on this strong persona, especially as it relates to even like rearing a child and going through the whole process of being pregnant and bringing this child into the world. And there's something that's called postpartum depression.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Postpartum depression, ladies, it's real. It exists. It is not something that's just for the others. It does exist. We
spoke about that.
Within the black community. And sometimes when I was raised old school. Hey Momo, shout out to Momo. I was raised
all the shout outs.
Old school. Okay, so it's like
that's my honey right
when
now.
you think about a woman and these women who have come from these families who've reared like 13 heads of children. My grandmother always used to say my mama had 13 children and you can't even just deal with one. All right. But ultimately, as it relates to mental health, is like time brings on a change with society. So back in the day when they were in the country, just having these babies and back to back.
Like 14, 17. I'm like, how?
Right. Man, some stair steppers like 19, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. Dang. So with that, but they had the kids working in the fields.
Strong black woman.
They were, at home. But now it's something totally different. We have mothers that's leaving out the hospital room and have to be back at work
the next day.
In a couple of weeks. Like, literally, in a couple of weeks.
I say someone to go back the next day against doctor's orders.
Right, but when you have to grind, when you have to provide, and especially, I think that breastfeeding have changed a lot of things. That has a mental a mental thing with women as it relates to your body is going through these changes. You have this baby who's depending on you for nurturing, and you still have to deal with the regular day-to-day life and the responsibilities of being a woman, may be a single woman, being a parent. But there's also women who are in households with their husbands, and it still feels like they are single women, because ultimately you breastfeeding you with this baby all the time. Men just want to go to work and come and play with the baby when they get home and get the baby all riled up. Yep. And you stuck with the baby for the rest of the night. And that's a mental thing. It is like your body is going through things. Your mind is going through things. So it's like, and as soon as you say something about it to the older folks, it's like, girl, that ain't nothing. But because of the roles that have changed due to the fact that men ain't taking care of all these children and these families like they used to back in the day. So it does affect your mental health. And sometimes it's hard to talk about. Like, it's hard to say, I'm losing my mind. Like, it's really hard to say, I'm losing my mind. And when you get to the point where you're able to, like, as a, I guess I would say, not necessarily an educated woman, but a woman that's educated on mental health, it was easier for me to be able to say, I have a problem. Like, I'm going through something. It wasn't accepted. It wasn't receptive. But I was able to say, I'm going through something.
Well, at least you was able to acknowledge it, which was
like something that don't mean that I was okay. Like, I put on maybe 90 to 100 extra pounds dealing with that. But I was one of the ones that was able to take control of the situation, and it's a lot.
Yeah, because I remember, like, last episode, that's what we were talking about, like, how you have to be able to acknowledge that there is an issue before you could even... Before you can find a solution, you gotta understand that there is a problem.
But think about it. That's with men and women. It's hard for people in general to admit that they have a problem.
Especially within the black community. Like we said last week, we was like, we have so many stigmas and so many barriers already attached to our names that adding the extra one, we were like, nah, we trying to get some of these off our back. We don't want to add anything to it. Correct. And then also, going back off to what you said, like the older people, it was like, girl, such and such. Right. We kind of, we touched on that last week where we said that us as men, you have to take on the macho role, whereas you hurt, boy, you better get up, dust it off, and that eventually has a long-lasting mental effect on us when we do become men.
But I also feel like back in the day too, though, like the whole, like, society was different. You know what I'm saying? Like the economy was different. So, like, the husband could go to work and still, like, be able to have enough money to provide for the whole family, where the wife could stay at home and, like, take care of the 13 kids or the 10 kids or however many kids it is, compared to now. You know what I'm saying? Like, now the economy and, like, the prices of the
kids expensive.
Kids expensive.
Like,
shout out to Madison, 5 years old, expensive child. Yes,
kids are expensive. Like, your livelihood is expensive. Like, exactly. I mean, you have gas, car insurance, car note, rent, mortgage.
That's your whole check right there.
Right. So I mean, like the price of things have gone up, and like the value of your work has gone down. Like, like you get paid minimum wage, which is like $7.25 at some jobs. Like, you don't get paid enough to, like, sustain your
family,
your livelihood.
Exactly.
So, and some people, honestly, it goes back into decision making. Like, oftentimes I feel like now there's so many ways to take precautions to not make life as complicated, but human nature, we complicate things ourselves.
I think Darrow said that when he said something that could be used a couple of weeks ago. What you said? Don't make a permanent decision
based on temporary emotions, baby.
Okay.
Don't make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions, and I stick to that.
Well, how do you not? How do they not intertwine?
Hey, that's something between you and your emotions. I mean, me personally, I'm not going to say I'm not emotional, but I always try to think things logically through. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know my means, I know my needs. So, like, I try not to be stressed or, like, try to make a decision because, because of pressure or because of the love or hate or something. Because like you love something for 1 minute, and then you know your feelings change about it, then you stuck like with a bad decision.
Exactly.
So you know it's just like I know like sometimes you feel passionate about stuff and you really want something to work and you force it to work, but sometimes it don't go like that. So that's why I try to always like even try to pick logic over passion. Even though it's sometimes bad.
That's a good one. Logic over passion. That makes a lot of sense. I get that.
Cause I mean, yeah, logic over passion. I love music.
Exactly.
But I ain't finna quit
money off of it.
But I ain't finna quit my job
Right.
just to. I mean, and some people it works out, but like right now, speaking of logic over passion, think about what COVID going on.
Exactly.
That field of work is pretty much
It
limited.
is.
So why would I quit a full-time job just to pursue that? Like,
Pursue a passion.
But sometimes it depends on your purpose.
True.
It depends.
True.
Everything is attached. What I've learned in life is what God has for you is for you. I don't know if that's your platform, but I'm just putting it out there. What's yours? What's inevitable for you?
This
is
podcast
inevitable
for open conversations.
it's an open
inevitable
conversations.
for you. So, I guess it really just depends on the person, because I've seen some people take this COVID situation and turn it into a $1 million baby.
Exactly.
So it's just all about what you're willing to put your energy into and your opportunity cost, as well as sometimes I feel that logic gets in the way of
It does.
progression.
I'm a very logical
Like
person.
some things does not make sense, but faith doesn't really make sense.
But exactly.
So
and that's something I
battle.
can speak on. And I actually had this conversation with a friend a couple weeks ago where I would say, well, one of my struggles in life is, you know, even though I'm in the church and I'm highly involved, I struggle with faith because I'm too logical.
Right.
Whereas I can't allow that to kind of slide out the way because I'm always thinking about, okay, this doesn't make sense. Like, I can't do this. No.
Like, sometimes
But-
you got to sit down there and wonder, like, is the risk worth the reward?
All right. I know that, like, in my journey, that's where I am in my journey as far as my career, my passion over logic.
Right.
Because by logic, I'm a teacher. But my passion, what I've always done is perform, like acting. And then it's one of those things where opportunities present themselves and sometimes you have to just step out on faith and allow the universe, the higher being, or whatever someone may call it, to intervene on your behalf. So
Divine intervention.
divine intervention.
So
yes,
again,
that's a good way for it.
so even when it comes down to logic, you still deal with mental health behind it.
Oh, there's a
You
lot
deal
of
with
anxiety
depression.
that go behind it.
You deal with anxiety.
Anxiety is real.
Anxiety is real.
It's real.
That's why I hate, like, me personally, I hate text messaging because, like, sometimes I hate it because, you know, like,
Track record.
because, like,
Because
cause,
you
like,
said
because, like,
January 21st.
because apparently I have, like, this, like, dry sense of humor, so, like, sometimes.
So you sarcastic.
I would never
You have a
be-
dark
I would
sense of
never-
humor, bro.
It's dark.
It's
Really?
dark.
I apologize. That's why I
There's
hate.
nothing wrong with it. It's
That's
just
why
dark.
I hate testing because like
A lot of
some
people don't
stuff,
get
like,
it.
Get like
You
taken out of
take it the
context.
wrong way.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
like
can
when
see
you take
that.
then, like when you take so
Because
long, I be sitting down there like, oh my god,
And-
maybe I should put an LOL at the end of it so they know like it's
People
a joke.
with anxiety suffer with misreading text messages.
What?
Because they always
Like,
think they
because
do.
I take it to a whole nother level.
Oh,
Okay.
not even like the text, like the non-responsive text message, like
Like, so
ooh,
basically,
like don't reply to
like,
me.
you don't
like,
I'm
care.
asleep,
reply
bro.
to me.
Like I'm really asleep. Like you tripping.
So
like,
it take you days to respond to me?
Oh,
like,
don't, oh man, please don't,
the
not reply.
audacity.
Sometimes that person might
Man.
just want to actually, take in the text message so they can provide an accurate
Yeah.
response. I know.
Man.
I take
and
my
people
time
in
sometimes.
hell want ice water. So, but to
Man.
have somebody, don't
I'ma
let
sing
me
y'all
live in
something.
my head. Don't
Oh,
let me live
man,
in my head
like-
too long. Ladies, we do not like to live in our head, right? Like, it makes more sense for you to be straightforward and say, because we're going to create our own narrative of the story.
I'm gonna tell you, Dara.
Okay.
I've been knowing Miss Keontae for a while, and that's one of her favorite sayings to me. Like, your biggest problem is that you in your own head. Like this, she tell me that all the time,
That's
and
your
I didn't
anxiety?
understand it until recently.
Right.
I was like, oh, it kind of hit me. I was like, okay, that's what she mean. Cause I do be in my own head a whole lot. I count myself short, going and coming, and that's the mental aspect of it. Whereas growing up, you might be like, well, I didn't feel good enough, or I didn't feel like this, or I didn't feel like that. So that kind of carries over to your adulthood, and now you second guess. Yeah, you second guess everything.
Right. So what is your outlet? What do you see as your method of coping and persevering through?
Method of coping. Sometimes I don't cope. A lot of times I just still. I still just don't go for it.
Oh,
but then
man.
sometimes I do just like, I think about, friends like you that actually come through and say that. And I'm like, well, let me just try. Let me put my best foot forward. And then when things go, I'm like, okay, let me try it again. And then like I started to build up confidence. But still sometimes I'm just like,
oh man, like I feel that, like for me, like when I was like a little bit younger, I was a little bit of a risk taker, like I didn't mind like just going for it, because at the end of the day, what's the worst that could happen? But as you get older, you know what I'm saying, like you have other responsibilities and other
consequences for your actions.
Hey, I was at that point where I was like old enough to know that, but just young enough not to
that-
care.
okay,
You know what I'm saying? Like when you young, you know what I'm saying? Like you just feel invincible. You know what I'm saying? Like you just go for it. But I mean, like as you get older, you realize that you're not as invincible, and like you realize that like sometimes like other people depend on the decisions that you make.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? Like
and
so
those decisions.
So that goes back to logic being going over passion, because like sometimes like your passion be like.
It really just depends on the situation. I feel like everything is situational. For every action there's a reaction. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Oh, I'm so glad you said it. I think I said this. I said I live in the cause and effect world, and I've been just bashed because of that. Because I'm like, okay, what you do, you're gonna get a reaction.
Yeah, it's gonna
and
be.
And then their reaction is gonna cause another reaction, and then their reaction is gonna cause their reaction.
The way
there's some reaction you just don't want. You don't want.
I always looked at your decision as being like either a consequence or a reward. Because I mean, like that's what you taught in school. You know what I'm saying? Like from child on up, for like every decision that you make as a child. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like you got your gold star when you did something good, but like when you did something bad, like you got that
pizzas.
Like you got the bad conduct. You got that bad conduct more.
But
you know what I'm saying?
It's never a balance, because what happens when you're doing what you're supposed to do, and then you get the bad end of the stick. So how do you rationalize and balance those things?
At the end of the day, that just goes. I guess that at the end of the day, that just goes to your principle, to your own personal belief and principles. Cause I guess let me see, like I'm a criminal justice major, so like everything is always about ethics and morals. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, everything is based on the decision that you make. So like people always try to make things look black and white when it's actually gray. So, like, at the end of the day, it's just, like, situational. Like, it just depends on the situation, so.
I guess I'm saying that's a good spill on mental health. Is there anything else that you want?
Oh, so I had a question.
Okay, cool.
I apologize. So, like, when you was talking about, like, postpartum depression and all that, so, like, what was some of your coping mechanism? Like, what type of support system, or, like, what did you do to kind of...
techniques?
So for me, because like I said, I'm from old school. My family from the country, and they didn't really understand the fact that I was saying that I needed help. So I had to get help for myself. I went to therapy. I'm still in therapy, and I feel like ultimately everybody needs somebody to talk to outside of the people. We tend to gravitate towards people who have the same beliefs, the same upbringings, the same values. That's why you connect to certain people, is because you value the same thing.
Right.
But when you talk to somebody else outside your spectrum, unbiased opinion, it really allows you to like release Like, to not hold back and to wholeheartedly deal with, this is the issues that I have. This is how I feel. And knowing that these people, even though they might think you crazy as hell when they go home and they talking to their significant other, they be like, that lady crazy as hell. But you got it off of your chest.
Right.
So for me, I did therapy. I did the Daniel fast. I started doing intermittent fasting. Exercise became a very, 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 very important role. Ladies, please, please, please check your health. I know everybody want to be snatched. When you really work out, and it's like a stress reliever for me. And that really, really, really helped me cope with everything. And when your body is a temple. So the more that you take care of your temple, the better you're going to feel. Whatever is working on that inner so that it can show throughout. So my coping mechanisms were therapy and exercise.
And I got a last question. So what would you say to the women that deal with, like men, we deal with pride or not wanting to actually get that negative stigma of going and receive help? How would you address that to them?
Wait, say that again.
Like, what would you say to the woman that's prideful, that doesn't want to get that negative stigma of going to therapy, of going to help?
I would say love yourself enough to get help. Like, we were created to be nurturers, and sometimes that clouds our judgment as it relates to wanting anybody, especially a strong, prideful. It is one of those things where you don't want anybody to take care of you, but you have to take care of yourself. You have to let that go. Look at the woman in the mirror and say that I have a problem, and in order to, make my situation, make my life better, I'm going to have to get help. And you're going to need that, whether it's from somebody you feel close to that you can talk to, or if it's somebody outside your spectrum. You're going to have to get it off your chest, because it will hurt you. It will definitely play a part on when your mental starts affecting your physical. It clouds your judgment. So in order to live a sane life, you have to put your pride aside and get help. Like, everybody needs somebody or something. It's just up to you to make that final decision to do what's best for you and your life.
Okay, I appreciate that. And I know the young ladies that are listening would appreciate that information as well. So we're going to get into our next topic of conversation. It's going to be one that you're familiar with: gender roles. Gender roles. So we have gender roles in working, gender roles in dating, gender roles with life.
Just period. And then, ladies, again, we actually have
I'm here for y'all. Yeah. I am here for you.
Even though I'm
here with it.
First of all, before she was here, I was here for y'all too. Now, don't
okay, so
don't
it's 1-on-2.
Me.
Don't disregard I thought it was 2 against 1, but now it's 1 against 2. So
hey, nah,
it's cool.
Because they got somebody to speak for them now.
Look,
they got somebody to speak for them now. So I don't have to be like.
So you a jump ship?
Yeah, you know me.
So black or white? So you gray?
I'm gray, baby.
So it's a toss up. That's a possible.
Exactly. It just depends on look. That's that possible we just talked about. Look.
So what's your ideals on gender roles when it comes down to? Let's start with dating.
Dating, as far as what?
Who should pay for the date?
The first date, the initial date. I feel like the man should pay for the initial date.
Why?
Because he who finds a wife finds a good thing.
All that's good and all,
right.
But
and if I could potentially be your good thing.
But check this out.
But that's potential. It's not guaranteed that you're my good thing. Okay. Like, at the end of the day, I always feel like
I could be wasting my money.
Like me personally.
So first of all, like, a date does not have to be a big paid type of date situation. There are still women out here that you don't have to take me.
But But you have women that's like, oh, let's go get the it's 2 for $25 now. Let's go get the 2 for $25, which is common, nice date. Oh, who you think I am? Set yourself
Somebody that I'm not
and
dating.
you ain't got a pot to piss in.
Well, it just depends
I
on
say
the woman
somebody
that
I'm
you're
not dating.
pursuing. I feel like people
agree.
need to date in a price range. Period.
Damn.
Like
So logic over passion, huh? So like no matter how passionate and how much I feel that I like you want to go with logic now.
So here, realistically speaking, I feel like men are natural hunters. Okay, they're natural. Y'all competitive. Y'all are sportsmen, in a sense of you go after what you want.
But I don't feel like I should have to compete in dating.
Yes,
I should.
We gotta compete we gotta compete.
I don't have to compete.
Interesting.
That's why again.
And that's the thing.
Again, that's why
like you don't have to compete. It ain't about a competition. It's about.
But y'all make it a competition. So again, let's go back to what I said a few weeks ago. You date. This is why I don't date. You'll date a woman and she's going on a date with 4 different other niggas. Well, 4 different other people, and. Now I'm in a competition with them. I don't want to be in this competition because eventually you're going to choose one of these men, and these other men are going to basically get their feelings hurt.
So,
and not only are you getting their feelings hurt, you using these men for their money.
That is not necessarily true.
Like, it's not necessarily false either.
It's not necessarily false.
So first of all, once again, like I said, date within your budget.
I don't care if it's $10.
But my whole thing is,
it's my $10.
It is your $10. But if you're pursuing somebody, it's a part of the pursuit.
No,
like
I don't go to the casino for that reason. I don't like possibilities. I like definites.
Well,
even though I know it's not a definite.
Life is a bunch of possibilities.
It is.
And it is what you're making, and you go for what you
That's
want.
why I don't gamble.
Okay,
not in life.
Damn.
You always, every time you wake up.
That's not a gamble.
When you go out in the world, it's a gamble. You a black man, sweetheart. Every time you step out of the door, it's a gamble.
If you put it in that perspective, yeah. But I'm saying I'm not gonna put myself in positions where I know it's actual gamble due to that.
Okay, so are you clear? Like, are you clear with these women as it relates to your dating policies? Yeah,
because you saying I ain't take you out. We could do something free. If you ask me for a date, I'm gonna block you. If I do,
even for me, that's too extreme.
Wow.
Because then I'm like, okay, you're not actually interested in me. You're interested in what I could do for you.
Why can't I want to go on a date with you to get to know you better?
But you don't have to ask me that. Let me do that as a man.
Okay, yeah.
So is that your pride speaking?
But here's the thing, though.
Interesting, because I mean, like, it's only 3 ways that a date, like 3 ways to pay for a date. Either she pay, Dutch. You pay, or Dutch.
I do Dutch.
And until
she established herself as a solidified person in my life.
So
how many Dutch dates?
How is a person going to solidify their self in your life without dating?
Interesting.
You can date. So, like I said, you can do free stuff.
You can, but you don't. How do you present
but
that?
But then you can also be.
That? You can ask me on a date. Don't be like, oh, I'll take you somewhere, but ain't gonna be nothing expensive.
But then,
like, you could create.
I understand that. But you can also basically present. You ask how could a person become solidified in your life? Consistent communication. I believe in mutual communication. I shouldn't always have to reach out to you. If you're actually interested in me, you need to reach out to me. That's not chasing.
Oh
that's
my God.
Not chasing.
I cannot believe we never talked about that. Like, that's an unrealistic expectation.
That's not chasing. Like,
bro,
that's just so
unrealistic. Nobody should have to text you or call you.
I never met a female that just initiates a phone call. Like, after y'all start dating, like, why you ain't call? Why you ain't text?
No,
like, you know the phone,
that's for Jump Street.
You know the phone works 2 ways.
It does work 2
like,
ways.
I never understood that. Like, because I'm not talking to you, like,
that depends on the woman. It depends on the woman.
Like, you know, I'm doing something like, you could definitely hit me up. Like, you have my number too. You know how to hit me up when it's time to, like, go grab something to eat. Shit, hey, how you doing?
So what time you gonna be here? Didn't you say you was gonna take me out? Why you can't give me that same energy and a good morning? Hey, just thinking about your text.
Bro,
Man, okay,
I cannot
so
believe I didn't.
here's
We
the
did not
thing.
have this
No.
conversation about unrealistic.
Okay.
That is so unrealistic, dog.
So here's the thing with that. I
speak
tried
the
it.
truth.
My cousin and I, we tried to be. So we don't think that it's thirsty, but
It's not.
it's one of those things where I tried that one time. Like I was, good morning, how's your day going? Da da da.
Like you don't have to do it all the time.
And
but
then
once
it's
every
like,
2 months?
hold up.
No,
I'm
dog.
doing
We
all
simple.
this.
We just want it every so
I'm
often.
doing all this and I'm not getting it reciprocated or something planned or something in
Bruh.
regards to me showing my interest. Okay, you know
Bruh.
what? I'm just gonna keep continuing to get all these good morning beautiful texts until somebody.
And
step up to
that's
the
why I don't date, because I feel like I shouldn't have to compete with all these good morning beautiful texts. Like if
Has
you
anybody-
interested,
You
if you
are-
interested
Like,
in me,
did anybody tell you were beautiful
Why
today?
do you,
Well,
why
let
do
me
you
do
watch
it.
football games?
If
Why
you-
do you
if
watch
you
football?
interested in
Why do
me-
you watch basketball?
Because it's entertaining.
It's entertaining, but you also like the sport itself, right? You like what's going on in the game.
there's entertainment.
Okay?
I'm not actually playing in the game though.
Life is a game.
No.
Life is a game, man. You gotta play it a certain like every day. And what I try to tell my students is that in life we all play roles. So we all playing. Like in one aspect you a social worker, but another aspect you are a musician. Another aspect, you see what I'm saying? We all play various roles, and that's the same way it should be played as it relates to what you want. Men are naturally hunters. Y'all go for what you want. And by all means, if you think that's for you, then why not pursue it and not worry about
I'm
what
not-
else is
Well,
going on?
I'm gonna say
talking
this.
About, well, let me clarify. Like I ain't talking about doing the pursuit. I'm talking about like even after pursuit. Because doing the pursuit, of course, you know, like the dude's definitely gonna be like, hey,
This man
what's
right
good?
here said that he don't do all that. He don't even date.
Well, that's on him. Like he,
I got a new term for you. I'm an adaptive hunter. I don't mind hunting, but if you don't put yourself in the position to get preyed upon, I'm not going to prey.
So what
hunt you.
what do you consider
Interesting.
as being
Interesting.
placing yourself in a position to be hunted on?
Again, it's simple. Mutual communications. Show me that you're actually interested and actually that you want me to actually pursue you.
So what does that look like for you? And do you, first of all, do you even put that out there at the beginning
From
of
Jump
the
Street,
situation?
I put it out there from Jump Street.
Well,
I'm straightforward. So again, if I'm telling you I just need mutual communication, that don't mean I need a good morning text every day.
Every day.
But at least once out of the week.
once out of the week, shit,
Like,
that
show
shit must be
initiative
me,
to show that you
like, once a
interested
month
in
be
me.
good for me. Like that.
but what,
Just for you, like for me, like it's all. I guess you know, like I'm all about like action. So you know,
Exactly.
so you know, like at the end of the day, like you know, like as a man, like when you go to the store, you kind of hit up your girl, be like, "Hey, you need anything while I'm at the store?"
a lot of men don't do that though.
And
This
that's
their
is
fault.
you.
And that's their fault. But like,
I'm not
always realize,
average.
like no matter how many times that like your significant other goes
No,
to the store,
they
like
don't do that for
never,
you.
They never be considered.
Well, that's
those.
the women that
I'm like,
you guys are
that's
dating.
interesting.
Because it depends on the situation. If we here with it, I'm not only asking what you need, I'm asking what your mama need, what you know, y'all good, we straight. It's about the person that you pursuing and the things that you set as your expectations. Cause sometimes I feel that women and men don't come together because the expectation people have false expectations. They put on
Unrealistic expectations.
they're unrealistic, but sometimes some of y'all be showing these representatives.
Hey, what's
And
that book?
You gotta
Man
have
from-
secretaries.
Man
like,
from,
you know what I'm
like,
saying? Y'all
Mars
show
and
these
women
represent-
from Venus or something like
Yeah,
that.
these representatives, y'all don't let us know who you really are. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we
Yeah.
spoke upon that too on the first episode. I think Daryl, you spoke on that.
Y'all send y'all representative, okay?
Well, no, and
Ladies,
y'all send y'all
they send their
hold up.
representative.
Okay,
Whoa.
and watch it.
Okay.
Hold up. I got you, fellas.
Whoa.
Women send their representatives too, because they don't show you the real them until you like 6 months in a relationship.
So what you mean?
That's when
real-
the crazy come out.
Hey, see,
But I feel
we
like
had that conversation the first
the
episode when we
so
said about
first
that.
of
Like,
all,
everybody has crazy and everybody has. First of all,
let's
I
put
don't
it
agree
out
with
there.
that. I don't agree with it. Everybody has crazy and everybody has different triggers.
Crazy in them.
So,
Everybody
like,
has
so
a
I'm not gonna
trigger.
say that females crazy. Like, everybody crazy.
Cause y'all be cool too. Everybody has.
We just
I
are
agree.
more emotional and intelligent. Like, we know how to keep
Control it.
Control it. Like,
Hold up.
Women can't control their
hey,
emotions.
look.
Agree.
What?
Women can't
Men
control
do.
their
When the
emotions.
last time you seen a man bust a window out of a car and slash some tires?
They
No.
ain't busting windows out of cars, but they
They be
popping
breaking in them,
up
though, too.
at your job. They popping up at your job.
But why are they doing it?
They harassing you.
But why
all
they
kinds
doing
of
it?
stuff. What?
Because of that
We talked about cause and effect. No, it's not because
They
of
do
that.
it because
Cause and
sometimes
effect. Y'all-
you don't miss a good thing till it's gone. Okay.
No,
The
they-
reality
no,
of the
they do that.
situation, they miss a good thing when
Okay,
it's gone.
so I'm gonna break it
That's
down.
false.
I'm gonna break it down right here. Women naturally do that just genuinely. You don't have to give them nothing. Men only do it if you actually present something. So if I see the principal text you at 11 o'clock at night, hold up, what the hell going on? Okay, I'm gonna pop up at the job. But compared to women, you ain't got to give them nothing. Oh, I just felt it in my spirit, or it's a woman's intuition.
It is.
Boy, they
Intuition.
intuition. Boy,
It's like
boy, they intuition. Motherfucker. Boy,
so
look
the
here.
intuition that we
Bro,
have is
it's
God's
fake.
gift to us.
It's fake.
Okay?
Bro,
God gave us women intuition because we have to
nah.
deal with so much in the world. That
Okay,
he
I
give
got
us
a question.
That extra intuition
I got a
in
question.
order to be able to withstand.
I got a question.
What's the
So because God gave, I'm not questioning God, but so I'm questioning who is y'all God. So if God gave you this intuition, why is your intuition inaccurate at least 80% of the time? 80-20 rule.
Wait.
Black men don't
hold
cheat.
up.
Black men don't cheat.
Black man don't cheat. All right.
Black men do whatever they want to do, and
men don't
they
cheat.
expect us to deal with it. Okay?
Black women do whatever they want to do and expect us to deal with it.
we do what needs to be done in order to sustain.
And we do
Like,
whatever
think
needs to
about
be
it.
done to
That's
protect
not-
ourselves.
Lie. They lie, ladies.
Everybody lying. Everybody lying.
They lie to protect.
Everybody lies. Everybody
lies.
lies.
But men, y'all
Lie.
just lie without thinking. Some of the lies I've heard over the years.
That's
I
part-
agree.
that's-
I agree. Men do not
Hey.
think. Women be
Like,
having their
I'm
stories
trying
all
to-
wrapped
That's
up.
y'all. Like, I
We
tell you
have
all
it
my
together,
lies.
ladies. We
Like,
have it
when I
together.
lie-
They be lying. You just know they lying. Like, and then it hurts your feelings because
then
you
that's
don't
why-
even have the decency.
that's
to
why
give
men
me
don't
a
believe
better
them.
lie.
Man.
That's why men don't believe y'all, because y'all had y'all lies looking like the truth. So we don't know when y'all telling the truth or when y'all lying.
It
So therefore, we gonna pop up and find out, is this the truth or is it a lie?
Well,
Oh, so
y'all lie because what's good for the goose is y'all be messed up. You can do what you want to do, but
I'm
when
just
a
gonna
woman
tell you.
does
I'm gonna
something,
tell you straight up.
it's
Definitely-
just an
Daryl-
emotional roller coaster.
Daryl
like,
said he lied. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Nope. Yep.
I
I'm talking
lie.
to her. Yep.
I lie.
Such and such. I'm gonna tell you straight up.
Okay,
I lie.
that is so.
I
Okay,
lie.
so you'll be like, men will be like, I'm talking to her, but we wasn't talking like that.
Yep.
We just kicking it. We ain't really like, we ain't intimate
I wouldn't,
enough.
like,
We
I
just
the
wouldn't
truth,
even
though.
give you.
But
Like,
that's
I
the
wouldn't
truth.
even give you that.
Meanwhile,
I wouldn't
you
even
her
give you that.
MCM,
Nope.
I'm getting a DM about whoop-de-woo. They screenshot my
We
post.
can't. We
Not
can't
my
control.
post, but I'm
We
just
can't
saying
control
in
what they
general.
post.
Screenshot and post with you.
They emotionally attached. We just think we cool with them. Now we
And
can't.
that's
You
the
can't
thing.
blame us for
That's
them being
playing
attached.
games. That's playing games.
But did you just say life was a game anyway? So like,
But that's playing another kind of game that can end up in the penitentiary.
hey,
Like, you
look,
can't be
life is a
playing-
game, baby. Look, sometimes,
game,
like
but-
even in Monopoly, you go to jail sometimes.
You
But
do.
look, with the right amount of money, you get out that thing.
Okay.
And then, you take your chance with the dice. In other words, the court system. Don't do
Sometimes
that though.
It's not that easy.
But again,
I feel like if people would be straightforward
agreed.
Agreed.
with their expectations, what they want.
I agree, but until you
We'll be
find that
better.
person that's that honest, that's not gonna
Exactly.
happen.
So-
I never
so,
met nobody
so
that
again,
honest, period.
so again, I want to shout this out. So I want to shout out to. I don't want to shout it out, but I just want to speak upon the differences between the young black woman and the older black woman in my experience. I can't say this all.
So
of
what
y'all.
you mean by what do you define as young and old? Let's say what do you consider young and
Let's
old?
just say 25 and below and 26 and up. So 25 and below, they be straightforward. I want a friend with benefits. I don't want all that other stuff attached. I don't want to cuddle. I don't want to do this. Whereas when you deal with the 26 and up, they still want to take on this independent persona, but still they just want that friend with benefits. They don't want that extra. So, now some of them do. Now I can't speak about all of them. Some actually do want something genuine.
It's tricky.
It's tricky.
Like my
and that's
thing,
why we be confused.
Like my thing with that is this, like. At different ages, you have different needs. So at the end of the day, I completely understand and get it. Like when you're in your early 20s, like you just don't want to be tied down and you just want.
It just depends because my little brother is 26 years old. Him at 27. Ooh, Travis 20. He's 27. Know how
your brother is. That's my dog.
They have been. Him and his wife got married maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's been about 3 or 4 years.
They've been together since. High school,
yeah.
So it just depends on the person, and that all goes back to people just being at any age, people just being honest about what they want. I know some at 33, I'm somewhere else than I was at 29, 28, 27. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right, so right. I mean, with age comes maturity.
Yeah, I was about to say, you should constantly mature.
Now they got some people that get to their 40s and they be like, oh hell no, I done dealt with all this shit. You know what? I want
a thought and bop.
And get out my sheets. Right. Give me the meat and get out my sheets because they done dealt with so much
That's
stuff.
Them cougars. They love them young
They just want the entanglement.
They just want the entanglement. Okay, they want something to play with.
Young man.
But also you have the one
Rumble, young man, rumble.
Come here, young man.
You make decisions and you have a kid.
Yeah, I'm about to say like different responsibilities, different duties, different jobs, different needs. So I mean, I completely understand. I completely get like like when you're younger, you just more. I ain't gonna say more reckless, but you just like have limited.
It depends on the person because I know some 21-year-olds that are way more serious than 31-year-olds. So it just depends on.
And I agree. But I just want to speak upon that because that actually confuses the male counterpart because now we're sitting here because we're dating. Now let's just say if we 30 and we're not only dating the 32, 33-year-old, but we also dating the young chick, the 24, 25. Now we're like, okay, both of y'all are presenting yourselves to be independent women. Y'all working, y'all doing this, y'all doing this. But you're presenting this and you're presenting this. Now it's like, okay, what the hell is going on?
So you decide what you want. It's about.
But y'all both presenting the same thing initially, but y'all want something totally different. But one is masking what they actually want, and the other one is being straightforward.
It's just, and then like I feel like it's just what she said. It just depends on like who you vibe with and who you respect more as far as that. Like, do you want to like
both of them? Like,
I mean, not respect, but who you want to deal with, like, because at the end of the day, a marriage and relationship is all about compromising. And like just understand people have faults and like you gonna have to deal with certain
beauty
shit.
Is only skin deep. That
beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Studies show that people are only like really physically attracted to their person and like infatuation for the first 6 months. That studies show that.
Okay.
Damn, that's why my relationship never
passed. And after 6 months, it's like you gotta be bringing something else to the table besides that.
I agree with that, but
physical.
then me personally, I can speak upon me. Now I agree with that because after a certain while, you just like I don't care about that superficial stuff. That's why I feel like a foundation should be built. You should build a friendship,
right?
But I could build a friendship with an ugly chick. But I'm not finna procreate with an ugly chick because now I got a chance of having a half ugly baby.
Well, I done seen some ugly girls pull off some cute babies. Okay, so you might sleep on the ugly baby.
Hey, I was about to say that, like, bro, like at the end of the day, man,
it just depends. I mean, but naturally.
But do you want to wake up next to them every day?
Do I have the option not to? I'm about to say, hello.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So obviously, if you pursuing this person, you ain't think they was ugly anyway. Exactly. So you're not going to put yourself in a situation with somebody. Now, some of y'all do.
Because money talk.
Money talk and
ding ding ding.
And entanglements talk and the WAP talk. So some of y'all do be dealing with people that y'all don't.
I'm sorry, the WAP can't. If you ugly and you still got WAP, that ain't gonna attract me.
Man, how you think they got so many ugly baby mamas? And man, be like, man.
Hey, because like she knows
that's because the cute chick basically denied them tonight, so they hit up the ugly chick.
Okay, they hit her up. It happens.
Hey,
but that wasn't their first choice.
But look, at the end of the day, hey, look, the ugly baby mama, like that means you weren't using protection either, because at the end of the day,
he was drunk. He was drunk.
So it was good. He wanted.
Oh, she lied. She said she was on birth control.
Now see, y'all shouldn't be listening to that. You shouldn't be having safe sex. Everybody,
please do.
Please wrap it up. COVID-19.
Go get tested.
Everything get
mask.
You need STD test, and you also need.
You need a mask and a glove.
All right, mask on
with the shield on.
Okay,
just lift it up. Never mind.